Can you imagine turning down like 100 grand a week? That's what we're diving into today, the wild world of football transfers, where money, isn't always the only thing that matters. We've got a whole stack of reports here, all buzzing with transfer gossip, and you guys know the drill. We want to sift through the noise, pick out the juiciest potential moves, and really try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these reports, they cover everything. The Premier League, La Liga, Serie A. It's like a global snapshot of what's brewing in the transfer market. But we're not just going to rattle off names, right? We want to dig a bit deeper, understand the strategies, the human element behind these possible deals.
So where do we even start with all this?
How about with a story that kind of blew my mind? Angel Gums, the 24-year-old midfielder at Lille, apparently turned down a massive offer from West Ham. We're talking £100,000 a week.
Wow.
Yeah, and his contract with Lille is up this summer. So it's not like this was just, a hypothetical thing. This was a real concrete offer.
Yeah.
Crazy money.
I mean, what makes a player walk away from that kind of payday?
Right. It really makes you wonder what else is going on in these guys' heads. I mean, the Premier League, obviously, it's a huge draw financially. But maybe Gomes feels like he's in a good place tactically at Lille. Maybe he's getting the playing time he needs, developing his game. Or maybe he just feels a stronger connection to the club, the fans, his role within the team.
Yeah. I guess at 24, maybe he's thinking more about regular playing time, proving himself, rather than just chasing the biggest paycheck. It's interesting, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes being a key player in a, slightly smaller pond can be better for your development in the long run.
Okay, so let's talk about Arsenal. Apparently they're interested in Moise Kean, the 25-year-old Italian striker who's currently at Fiorentina. But he's had a bit of a rough time in the Premier League before with Everton. What do you think they see in him?
Good question. It definitely wasn't the most successful spell for him at Everton, but players change, right? Maybe Arsenal sees something in his development since then. Maybe he's tactically more astute, his finishing's improved.
Maybe Arteta, with his, style of coaching, thinks he can get the best out of him. I mean, he's done pretty well with other players.
Yeah, for sure. It could be that they see a specific role for him in their system, a different kind of attacking option.
Okay, interesting. Now, Manchester United, they seem to be on the hunt for some young firepower. They've got their eyes on Benjamin Sesko, the 21-year-old Slovenian striker from RB Leipzig, and Hugo Ekitike, the 22-year-old Frenchman at Eintracht Frankfurt. They're also still keeping tabs on Xavi Simons, that 21-year-old Dutch midfielder at RB Leipzig, the one they were after back in January.
A lot of young blood there, huh? It definitely looks like they're thinking long-term, building a squad for the future. I mean, those are players who haven't even hit their peak yet. They've got huge potential.
Yeah, and maybe they're looking to add a bit more pace, a bit more dynamism to their attack. Sesko, for example, he brings height, aerial ability. Ekita is known for his movement, agility.
It looks like they're trying to cover all the bases,
Yeah.
Different attacking profiles, different tactical options. Makes sense.
Right. So let's talk about Antony, the 25-year-old Brazilian winger who's been on loan at Real Betis from Manchester United. Word on the street is that Betis are meeting with United to talk about his future. Apparently he's been doing quite well in La Liga. What do you think will happen?
Well, this loan move to Betis, it could be a real turning point for him, He came to Old Trafford with a big price tag, lots of expectations, but it hasn't quite clicked for him. Maybe playing in a different league, a different environment, has given him the confidence he needed. This meeting, who knows? Maybe it ends with a permanent move to Betis. Or maybe another loan. Or maybe he even goes back to United with a fresh perspective, ready to fight for his place.
It shows you how a change of scenery can sometimes make all the difference, right? Now, let's shift gears a bit. Bournemouth. They're apparently looking to the future, targeting Maxime de Kuiper, the 24-year-old Belgian left-back from Club Brugge. Seems like they see him as a possible replacement for Milos Kerkez, their 21-year-old Hungarian fullback who's been on Liverpool's radar.
Classic domino effect, right? Big club comes sniffing around your young star, you got to start thinking about replacements. It sounds like Bournemouth are being proactive, which is smart. They're not waiting for a deal to happen, they're already lining up options.
Got to be prepared, right? Now, Liverpool, they've also been linked with Julian Alvarez, the 25-year-old Argentine striker at Atletico Madrid. But Atletico have made it very clear he is not for sale.
Strong words. They're not messing around. I mean, Alvarez, he's a top-class player. He's proven himself domestically, internationally. He's got the skill, the work rate. He scores goals. Atletico, they obviously see him as a massive part of their plans.
Sounds like they're not going to let him go easily.
Not a chance. It just goes to show, when a club really values a player and they're not desperate for cash, they hold all the cards.
Makes sense. Okay, Chelsea. Buckle up, folks, because this is where it gets interesting. The rumor mill is churning, and it's suggesting a major summer clear-out at Stamford Bridge. Noni Madueke, the 23-year-old English winger, is apparently a target for AC Milan. And get this, they're talking about potentially selling up to 11 players this summer.
Wow, that's a serious overhaul.
Huh.
We're talking big names, too, like Raheem Sterling, Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to free up funds, maybe make space for a new striker. It's a massive change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it looks like the new ownership, the new management, they're really trying to put their stamp on the team, and selling that many players, especially guys like Sterling and Chilwell, that would generate a ton of money, free up a lot of wages.
I think that they're hitting the reset button.
Yeah, big time. It'll be fascinating to see how it all plays out.
Now, for a rumor that's sure to get people talking, Barcelona, they're apparently thinking about bringing back Lionel Messi.
Wow, the prodigal son returns.
He's 37 now, playing for Inter Miami. But the talk is that they want him back in the summer of 2026, when they're back in the renovated Camp Nou. It's a long way off, but still, what a story that would be.
I mean, emotionally, it would be huge, right? Messi back at Barcelona.
Yeah.
But practically, there are a lot of things to consider. How will he be physically in a couple of years? What role would he play in the team? How would it affect their finances, their other transfer plans?
Yeah, it's not just a simple decision, is it?
Not at all. It's a balancing act between sentimentality and, cold, hard reality.
Okay, let's move on to some other La Liga news. Real Madrid, they're apparently close to locking down Raul Asensio, their 22-year-old Spanish defender, with a new long-term contract.
Smart move.
Yeah.
He's a promising young player. And for a club like Real Madrid, securing those kind of talents is crucial. It shows they believe in him, see him as part of their future.
And Real Betis, they're back in the news again. They're apparently one of 3 La Liga clubs interested in Junior Firpo, the 28-year-old left-back who's currently at Leeds but out of contract this summer.
The free transfer market, it's a gold mine for clubs looking to strengthen their squads without breaking the bank. Firpo's got Premier League experience, so he could be a great addition for Betis or any of the other interested clubs.
Okay, let's step outside the big leagues for a second. Gateshead FC, they're being very hush-hush about rumors of a potential takeover involving Victor Anichebe, the former Premier League striker. It's not every day you see a name like that linked with a National League club.
It's definitely intriguing. I mean, it just shows you that there's interest, there's investment happening at all levels of football. And a guy like Anichebe, he brings more than just money, right? He's got experience, he's got connections.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that football isn't just about the big clubs, the big names. It's a global game, and there are stories unfolding everywhere. Now let's talk about some future stars. Liverpool, they're apparently still keeping a close eye on Javier Reed, the 18-year-old right back at Feyenoord.
He's supposed to be the next big thing, right?
That's the word on the street. Barcelona are also interested, so you know he must be talented. I guess Liverpool are thinking about the future, maybe seeing him as a potential successor to Trent Alexander-Arnold down the line.
Yes, succession planning, it's vital for these top clubs. They have to be thinking years ahead. And when clubs like Liverpool and Barcelona are both tracking a young player, you know he's special.
Okay, last but not least, this one's a bit juicy. Arsenal are reportedly monitoring Luis Diaz, Liverpool's 28-year-old Colombian winger. That would be a big move if it happened. 2 of the Premier League's top teams battling it out for a star player.
He would definitely shake things up.
Yeah.
I mean, Diaz, he's got pace, he can dribble, he knows the Premier League.
Yeah.
But, convincing Liverpool to sell to a rival, that's not going to be easy. It would take a huge offer.
Yeah, that's a transfer saga I'd love to see unfold. Okay, final bit of news. Newcastle, they're pretty confident they can hold on to their captain, Bruno Guimaraes, despite interest from, you guessed it, Arsenal. But here's the catch. They think they can keep him if they qualify for the Champions League next season.
It all comes down to that, doesn't it? I mean, Champions League football, it's a massive draw for any player. It's the top level, the biggest stage. And for a player like Guimaraes, who's ambitious, who wants to be the best, playing in the Champions League, that's got to be a huge factor.
It really shows you how much of an impact Champions League qualification can have, not just on the pitch, but in the transfer market, too. So there you have it, folks. From unexpected rejections to potential mega deals, from youth prospects to seasoned veterans, the world of football transfers never sleeps. We've covered a lot of ground today, tried to make sense of all the noise, and hopefully giving you a clearer picture of what might be going down in the coming months.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen how money isn't always everything, how clubs are thinking about the future, how a simple change of scenery can revive a career. And it all begs the question, what really motivates these players? Is it loyalty to a club, the desire for playing time, the ambition to compete at the highest level? We want to know what you think. Head over to EPLNews.org, share your thoughts, and keep up with all the latest transfer news as it breaks.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll be back soon with more transfer talk, more insights, more of the stuff that makes this beautiful game so unpredictable and so much fun.